Good morning, everybody. Subby with Subby's Weather Talk in conjunction with Henry County Emergency Management. Welcome this morning. I'm going to give just a few minutes, let everybody have a chance to jump on this live stream. I want to welcome all of those on Henry County Emergency Management Facebook page. We do this a couple times a week to let everybody in West Central Missouri, including Henry County, know what to expect in the upcoming days as far as weather goes. So we do have an open chat. If you have any questions or just want to say hi, feel free to throw it in the chat box. Want to kind of give you guys kind of a heads up of what we can expect this weekend, the rest of this weekend I should say, into next week and leading up into Super Bowl weekend. Go Chiefs! Super Bowl Sunday is just around the corner. And of course, we've talked about this a couple times here this last week on an Arctic air watch for the middle to the end of this month. And it is not showing any signs of going away anytime soon. So, well, give it just a few more seconds here. Let whoever wants to come in can come in. Hi, Melinda. Welcome. So what we're actually looking at here, this is courtesy of the homegrown severe storm chaser Nader Boys. This is one of their many area-wide cams that they have graciously allowed me to be able to utilize. This is in Dayton. This is one of my favorite cameras. It kind of gives a beautiful overlook of the area. If you don't know where Dayton is, it is just off of Highway 7 near Creighton. So we are actually looking west from this camera angle. We've got overcast skies. You can see the clouds are moving at a pretty good clip from right to left, and there's a few more sprinkles still out there. I think we're just about done with the rain for today. Right here in Clinton in Henry County, so far I have picked up 0.48. So right at a half-inch rain for us here in Clinton. Now there was a very sharp drop-off just by about 50 miles from here, where very little rain was picked up. So there was, you'll see here at our total rainfall from this storm system, you'll see that sharp gradient where it went from a half-inch of rain to no rain. So it was a real fine line, but for most of West Central Missouri, picked up anywhere between 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch as we get closer to the state line. And that's kind of what we had talked about earlier. I think it was late last week, where it was kind of looking like right along the state line was going to get the heaviest of the rainfall. And that, in fact, is exactly what had happened. So let's move on off of this here. Thank you, Nader Boys, for allowing us to be able to take a look at these camera angles. That's going to provide great insight as we head closer to severe storm season. Now let's take a look here. So we do have the leftover remnants of our storm system here in West Central Missouri. It will be moving out here over the next couple hours. I'm going to set this in motion from our predictive satellite and radar. And right up here, you'll see the timestamp. So as we get closer to the 10 o'clock hour, we will start to see the rain begin to sink south out of west central Missouri. And then by early this afternoon, we will be cleared out. We might even see some sun poking out, as satellite is showing that the clouds are really starting to break up by early to late afternoon. So how much rain did we get out of this? So let's take a look here. So as I was talking about that real tight gradient. So from about Whiteman Air Force Base down through Benton County and point to the west, picked up anywhere between a half to I'd say some down around in Vernon County along the state line, probably picked up close to an inch of rain down in Vernon County, but for the most part, between a quarter and half inch all through west central Missouri. So you go just east into Pettis and Benton County and point to the east and to the north, hardly any rainfall, maybe a quick tenth out in that direction. So let's see what's going to be going on here over the next few days. So basically, we're going to have this rain be clearing out here in west central Missouri today. Take a look at this storm out west, guys. This system is bringing torrential rains to central and southern California and a ton of snow up in the upper elevations of California right now. And it's not going anywhere. If you notice, let me backspace it one time. Now notice down here in southern California, as it's put into motion, it just doesn't go anywhere. This low pressure system, a very strong one at that, 997 millibar low, which is very strong, it just sits there and spins, and this big plume of moisture backpedals and goes over the same area time and time again. So they have evacuation orders all the way down in southern California because of this, and it's just going to sit there and spin for the next 2 to 3 days. California is going to be receiving their yearly projection of rainfall in a matter of about 4 days. So very serious situation going on in California, especially in southern California, where they had been pretty dry, below average in precipitation, and there had been 2 storm systems. If you guys watched the Gary Lezak video, there had been 2 storm systems. One hit right around the 3rd week of November, and then it cycled back again in January, and we're going to be seeing this yet again here in about another 45 days for Southern California. So let's get back on track here, and we're going to move this forward. And as you can see, we're going to have a beautiful next week. We're going to have sunshine, temperatures back up into the 50s and 60s again. And then, according to the LRC and the models, around the 8th of February is when we can expect our next system to come through. But the good news is going to be in liquid form, not expecting any kind of wintry precipitation with this system hitting into west central Missouri and Henry County next Thursday. It is going to bring with it some rainfall. Not expecting a lot of rain with this, but we can expect some showers on Thursday and early on Friday. But then we're going to kind of clear up for Super Bowl weekend. We'll have a nice weekend, and then really we're going to be kind of in that stagnant period where we'll have a couple of small disturbances coming through west central Missouri. Between the 11th and the 18th, temperatures are going to be above average, so we're not expecting really a whole lot going on in that week after Super Bowl weekend. We will have a couple of shots of some colder air. When I'm meaning colder, we might get back down into the 30s. But all eyes will be on these maps as we head closer to the end of February. And I will show you guys why here in just a moment. Notice right here, this is right around the 12th through the 16th. We'll get a shot of colder air. There's the 540 line. That's what I call the freezing line. That's where temperatures along and north of this line is 32 degrees or colder. So we will be in some colder air as we go into the middle of the month. But then we'll be right back up into the 40s and 50s right after it. And then we'll have another reinforcing cold front coming in day after Valentine's Day, right around the 15th. And we'll be back down into the 20s and 30s, which is typical for this time of year. And then we will be under the influence of another ridge that will warm temperatures back up as we head into the 18th. Now, let's take a look at the long range. So, the long range, here we are, the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. We will have a couple little disturbances coming through. Like I had mentioned, bring us a shot for some rainfall. But then as we look at this big low pressure. This is system number 1 that's going to be dragging in some colder air starting around the 18th of February. And it's a powerhouse. We get a high pressure system, which that's associated with dry weather. It rotates clockwise around it. So it's going to be drawing in that cold Canadian air down into the Midwest and into West Central Missouri. And then we set the stage at that time where the jet stream will be dipping down right over West Central Missouri. And this is when we're going to stand our best chance to see several rounds of possible wintry precipitation. And as we go toward the end of the month, that Arctic air watch that I was talking about just now, watch what happens here at the end of the month. You see how we get a trough right here, right in central Kansas. That's the dip in the jet stream. We begin to see snow and rain here in west central Missouri, Kansas, southern Iowa, and southeastern Nebraska. Watch how low this low pressure system takes that cold air. It's going to take it all the way down into Arkansas. Very cold air, and we will be tapping into that Arctic air possibly. And we go to the second. This is the one that I'm concerned about. This will be a storm system that will be coming in, that will be ushering in some Arctic air according to this model run, bringing a swath of very heavy precipitation from the panhandle of Oklahoma through Kansas up through Missouri, including west central Missouri, and very brutal cold temperatures. We will see freezing temperatures all the way into southern Texas according to this model. By the second, we should start to clear out, but we'll still be under the influence of that very, very cold Arctic high pressure system. And then as we go into the third, we will be fully engulfed in an Arctic air mass, which we will have temperatures back down into the single digits, if not below zero temperatures. So this is one model. This is the long range model. And you guys, I'm preaching to the choir here when I say models tell you what could happen, not what will happen. But this has been very consistent over the last week and a half now on the long range models, showing a potential for a significant winter storm to affect west central Missouri as we get to the last week of February and to the first few days of March. So this is what I am kind of keeping my eyes on. I'm focusing on this system itself to see what kind of implications that may bring. Now, the TSP, and that is the fun acronym we use here in the weather group, standing for Teacher's Snow Day Probability. We started that last year. It's been kind of fun. It looks like I will be issuing another TSP for that last week of March. So for all you teachers out there and pastors, we also have the pastor snow day probability that Mr. Allen here at Mount Zion Church, we kind of joked around one day, and of course the pastors love to be with the congregation every Sunday, but they're hard-working individuals as well. So we decided to throw out a pastor snow day probability out there as well. So both of those likely going to be issued here at some point in time this week. Kind of want to solidify a couple more model runs, and then we will have yet another TSP and pastor snow day probability issued for west central Missouri. Oh, Brownington Baptist. Hey, Alan. I was thinking Mount Zion. I saw a picture you were in with, I thought it said Mount Zion. Binware sale. Yeah, you're not kidding. So, Binware tractor, where I actually am employed at, having a customer appreciation sale on March 2nd. So, we've been really concerned about the possibility of seeing a winter storm come in right around that time period. So we may have snow on the ground, but right now it's looking like just cold temperatures, but it's looking like we could be dry for March 2nd. So Annette, you don't like those single digits? It's easier for me to type the forecast when it's single digits. So let's put all this in perspective, guys. I really hadn't had to tweak the forecast here for the last week. Everything has been pretty much, unchanged. But for our forecast, so today, chance of rain through 3 p.m. It's likely going to stop a little bit prior to that, probably around the noon hour. We will be cooler today. It will be a stretch to get us up to 45 degrees. As stated before, total rainfall 1/4 to 3/4. Got a 1/2 inch here in Clinton and Henry County. 3/4 of an inch to an inch was closer to the state line over in Bates and Vernon counties. Monday through Wednesday, sunny, mid-50s, below 60s. Beautiful, beautiful start of the work week. And then we're going to have our next system due in around the 8th, which is Thursday. It's going to be all liquid. I'm not seeing any possibility of seeing any kind of winter precipitation with this. And then we should clear out for the Super Bowl weekend and back to sunshine and high near 60. So anybody that's planning on a Super Bowl party, maybe smoking a big old rack of ribs or a pork butt out on the smoker, be a perfect weekend to do so. And of course, go Chiefs, as they are in the Super Bowl yet again in 2024. So long range, I have not had to change this one bit. Long range, February 8th through 11th, that's next Thursday. Our next minor system comes into west central Missouri, brings rain to us. February 11th through 17th, That's our calm period. We'll just have a couple small disturbances. Weather's going to be pretty much stagnant for that week. And then we hit February 18th through March 1st. That's when we are under an Arctic air watch for toward the end of the month. We will have a couple Canadian air masses that will bring temperatures much colder than what we have been experiencing, with rain and snow chances, at least 4 chances of snow between February 18th through March 1st and 2nd. So that is what I'm going to be keeping my eyes on here over the next week or two. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you anybody that's watching this from the local Henry County Emergency Management Facebook page. For those that do not know, I have assumed the role of Deputy Director of Henry County Emergency Management. Loving it so far. It gives me yet another way to be able to give back to the community that I've lived in nearly my entire life. So really enjoyed that so far. The people that I work closely with, and I don't know, the director, Brad Wright, great guy. We're having a ball so far. Lots of ideas for our community, in which we're going to have a big announcement coming up on social media and on the radio and in the papers for the month of March. Very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So we will have news on that here coming up here in about a week. So thank you guys for tuning in. If anybody has any questions, again, I'm an open book. Please just shoot me a private message, shoot me a text on my phone, shoot me a message here in our Facebook group, and as always, I will try to get those answered as soon as I can. So spring predictions, yeah, I'm just going through chat right now, guys. I'm going to stay on here for a couple more minutes in case anybody has any more questions. So right now, and of course according to the LRC, with the LRC in mind, right now we are in day 31 of a 45-day cycle. So this weather that we've been having is just absolutely spot on with what we received 45 days ago. So it's just amazing. So according to the LRC and the patterns that we've been in, it looks like we are going to have a very active severe storm season this spring. It's not going to be like every single week. When I mean active, I'm meaning that during the periods where we see a system come through, West Central Missouri is kind of in that bullseye of where all the conditions meet up, where that battle between the cold dry air masses and the warm moist air masses, where that battleground is looking like we're going to be right smack dab in the middle of that battleground. So these systems have been very, very strong. When we had that system come through to pull that Arctic area in here about 3 weeks ago, bringing temperature down, wind chill down to 30 below zero, that same system is poised to return twice during severe storm season. During the most active stretch of severe storm season, I should say. So, I'm expecting I'm going to be one busy man this spring. Hi, Amber. You are welcome. If anybody has any other questions, throw them up there on chat. I'll be happy to stay on a couple more minutes, answer any questions if you guys have any. So my next planned live stream. Likely be around Thursday. I will do a live stream, talk about the system that's going through at that time. An update on the Super Bowl forecast, as well as we'll kind of take a look and see what all the data is showing for that last week of February, first couple days of March, and see if anything had changed at that time. So I don't see any more questions. So everybody get out there, have a wonderful Sunday, spend time with family. Go up, visit with mom and dad, go visit with the brother or sister. Great day for that. Go and visit with family today, and then that way by next Sunday you can just be gorging on some snack food and watching the Chiefs take yet another Super Bowl win into their pocket. You guys have a great Sunday. We'll be talking to everybody